Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be seeing how to make a simple calculator app using Tkinter. First thing what we need to do is to import Tkinter library. From Tkinter import star. And the other module which we need from the Tkinter library is the message box. So from Tkinter import message box. And first we need to create the window. So root equals to tk and the root.main loop to keep the window active, and root.title the title as calculator. Okay, so these are the basic things which we need to do. And next what we need to do is to create a string in which our text is going to be stored, that is the calculations, and the input which is given by the user is going to be stored. So we'll have that as operator equals to an empty string. And next what we need to do is to create a string variable which is going to be there inside the entry field. So for that, text input text input equals to string var of. If you want to give any default value inside this, you can give, but I'm not going to give anything inside that. If you want to give something, then you can do value equals to whatever text you want to go inside. Just suppose like start, something like. And next what we need to do is to create an entry field so that will be displaying if any button is clicked by the user. For that, display equals to, it is an entry, so it is there in the root window. And here we are going to do the font size so that we are going to make it look a little bigger. So font will be we'll have that as Arial or normal, and the font size is 30, and we'll have that as bold. And I would like to have the foreground as white and the background as black, a little dark theme. And next thing I want to do, if we see all the calculators, the text will be starting from there is the numbers will be starting from the right side and not from the left side. So to deal that situation, I'm using justify equals to right, so that the text will be starting from the right side. Whatever the text entered by the input by the user will be coming from the right side. And then I need to change the border. The border I'm going to have it as 45. It's very big, but it will look good at the end. And next, the text variable to store the value inside the operator. Text variable is equals to text input. Yeah, and then finally we are displaying the display in the root window. Display dot grid. And in our app, it is, we are going to design it like the first, it will be yeah. So first our app is going to be looking like this, and then our have this. Then our entry field will be somewhere around here, and next our buttons is going to be over here. So there will be 4 columns. Yeah, so there are 4 columns, and there will be 5 rows. So starting from 7, 8, 9, and then starting from clear button, and then the open brackets, close brackets, and then here divide symbol, like that 7, 8, 9 to be going on. So here if we see in the root window, the one here in the top is going to occupy is it entry field, and then the buttons. So what we need to do here is, inside the grid we need to use the column span, which will be equal to, for the 4 columns we need it to be centered, so column span equals to 4. So that is how the entry field is created. And next what we need to do is to creating the buttons. And to do that, the first button which I told you was the clear button. So for that, it is button of is going to be inside the root window, and its text will be of open close brackets. So it's C for clear, and its pad X I'm going to set it as 30, and pad Y I'm going to set it as 10, so that there are some extra spaces in the button, and it makes the button look a little bigger. And its border I'm keeping it as 4, and its foreground I'm having it as white, again the same, and background I'm having it as black. Yeah. And next what we need to do is to define a command. When the clear button is clicked, what should be happening? For that we have to create a function which is called as def clear, and what we need to do here is to global the operator, and once this is called we have to set the operator again to empty strings, and we also have to set text input as the empty string. So dot set, what this set does is that whatever is there in the entry field, it is going to set that to this empty strings, so that when the clear button is clicked, nothing is there in the empty field. And then what we need to do is to insert this text input. So display dot insert 0 comma, at the 0th index we are entering this empty strings. Then and that's all. And then when this button is clicked, we have to specify this command equals to clear. And button dot grid, we have to grid in this at row equals to 1 and column equals to 0. So row equals to 1 and column equals to 0. Yeah. So if we run this and see, we should be getting, that's okay. Text input So here we can see this text button, and here the entry field is there. And if you click the clear button, it clears the text from the entry field. So this is the first button we have created. Like this, we have to create all the buttons. And here I have to specify the text, which is the font style. The font equals to AL, that is going to be 30, and it is bold. So it should be looking something like this. Yeah. So this is the first button. Like that, we have to create 4 more buttons, and it is like almost everything is the same for creating other buttons. The next button is going to be the button. It's for the brackets. So for the button left brackets is button of root and text equals to this bracket and open bracket, and pad x equals to 30 and pad y equals to 10 and its border equals to 4 and its foreground equals to white and its background equals to, yeah, so font and 30 and its bold. And then what we need to do is to define a command for this, that is whenever this button is clicked, what should happen. So for that we need to create another function which is called as the function of definition button, and it will be taking the parameters called numbers, and inside this whenever the button is clicked we need to update the entry field with this button. So global operators, global operator and operator plus equals to this number, and next text, we need to set the text input inside the entry field, input dot set, we need to set that operator. Yeah, so that's it. And whenever we are calling the function here, vmd command equals to, we need to call it using the lambda function, and command equals to lambda of, in this case button of, what we are passing here is the open bracket. Yeah, and then we need to dot grid, we need to place it to the right side of the clear button, so it is going to be row 1 and column 1 of row equal to 1 and column equals to 1. The same thing is for button right brackets or close brackets, that is RB, and in this case is going to be this close brackets, and this is going to be in the row 2, and as the fourth button, that is the last button in the first row, it is going to be the multiplication button, or there is a division button. So BT button division for button, we can better do it like this, and the text is going to be this division symbol, and in the command, no, for this also we have to change, for the command this one is going to be the close brackets, and this one is going to be the division, and we have to place this in row 3, column 3. And when we run this, we should get something like this. Yeah, so the clear button is there, and this, so it's working perfectly. So but we didn't give any cases, that is the error case, so it is taking as such. This is like a pretty basic calculator, so we are just focusing on placing the widgets and just layout management, and while going later on we'll add the error cases. And the same like this, we need to create for 5 more buttons, and the management layout management will be going like, first row it will be clear and the brackets and the division symbol. In the next second row it is going to be 7, 8, 9 and multiplication, and in the third row it is going to be 4, 5, 6 and minus. In the same like fourth row it is 1, 2, 3 and plus, and in the sixth row it is 0, dot and equal to. In our case, equal to will be taking the 2 buttons place, that is, we are going to stretch the equal to button a bit larger so that we get a neat look for our app. So I'm going to fast forward the video over here. It is the same thing. If you have any doubt, I'm going to leave this code link in the description. You can download the code from the GitHub and check out the code. So that now we have completed creating this buttons, and what I did here is the same thing, placing the button 7, and the command while calling it, I'm calling it as 7, and I'm placing it in the row 2 and column equals to 0. And same thing goes for everything until button 0, and in the button equals to equal, we need to create a function which is called as the equal. So yeah, in that case we have to create a function called as equal. So def, it is def equal. In here we need to global the operator, and first we have to try, we have to use the try except statements. We have to try, we have to create a sum total which is going to be equal to, and we need the final answer in the float form. So float, and since we have the operator from the operator as a string, we need to use the eval statement, eval of operator. So in case if you don't know how this eval work, you can see that if I give eval of eval, if I give 3 plus 4, it is going to be the 7, and if it is eval of 4 by 2, should be in strings. Yeah, so this is the eval is a function which executes the statements which is in a string form. And even if I give eval of print hello, if I give this, I have left eval of print hello, it is going to print hello. So basically executes whatever is given in the string form. So if that doesn't give any error, it is going to, we are going to display this text input, that is the sum inside the entry field, because when the equal to button is clicked, we need to sum up whatever is given in the entry field, and then we display the result inside the entry field. So text input or dot set sum total. And we need to set that operator equals to an empty string so that the user can do the next calculation. If in case any error is there, so except it is in zero division error. Zero division error occurs when we try to divide something by 0, like 3 by 0. In that case, it will be a zero division error. So 0 division error. In this case, we need to use the message box to display an error telling that the user is trying to divide something by 0, so which is invalid format. So message box dot show info. We need to display an zero division error, and we need to tell them that it is division by 0 error. Yeah. So in next except case, it is except value error. Value error occurs when we give something in a very bad format. That is, if we give an only open close brackets, in that case it will come to an value error. So in that case, we need to message box dot show info. It is value. So it is value error, and we need to display bad format. And the next error which will occur is syntax error. In this case, we need to display a message box. And it's a bad format. And here another except case is there. There is except type error. In this case, we need to display a message box dot show info. Here type error. Here we need to do bad format. Now it should work perfectly. We have defined the operator here, and we are calling the operator global operator, and in the operator we are adding the number, and we are setting the entry field to the final value. So if we run this, so this is how our final app is going to be like. And if we click any number, 56 plus 56 is displaying the number, and if we give 78 into 96 is going to be giving the number. Suppose if you want some negative answer, it is 5 into minus of 5 should be minus 25. Yeah, there's the answer. So this is the, and one more thing we can do here is now we can drag the calculator app, and if we want to block this action, we can add a statement that root dot on root dot resizable root dot resizable in that 0 comma 0, which is we can't resize anywhere. So now if you see that this enlarge button which was there previously, it is not there now. Here root dot resizable 0 comma 0, it tells that in x-axis you can't expand it and in y-axis you can't expand it. So here it is not expanding anywhere, and this is our final app is going to be looking like. So if we give something like this, and if we give the equal to, give the type error, it's a bad format. And if I clear it, and 1.0.02.1, if I give this into divided by 9, if I give going to give this a syntax error, that is a bad format. Yeah. So in the next video I'll be showing you how to convert this .py file into .exe file, and then we'll be moving on to combo box, radio button, check buttons, and list box and preview. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos. Thank you for watching.